Okay, as I said earlier, I've got with me a special guest today, Dave Coverdale, who's the president of the Rotary Club of Barrow. Good afternoon, Dave. How are you?
I'm okay, thanks, Brian. I'll just correct you there because I'm now just the past president.
Oh, my apologies.
Just handed over to our new president, Dave Parsons. But that's only just happened in the last couple of weeks. So
I must learn to keep up. Right. And as I said in the introduction, we're going to be talking about a number of topics today. We originally wanted to get other members with us, but for technical reasons, they can't be with us today. So we're going to talk a little bit about the Keswick to Barrow and the Rotary involvement in the Keswick to Barrow. Then I think Dave wants to talk about the golf session that his club was involved in. And then we've got something else, which is a bit of a surprise later on. But Dave, first of all, Keswick to Barrow, Rotary have been involved for quite some time. Tell us about your involvement and what you've been doing with it.
Yeah, well, our club's had an association with K2B for many years, acting as marshals and getting involved with sort of indirectly with the committee, but as a good working relationship with them. And I know that we're on their list of marshals to be contacted each year. And that's really nice that they've kept us on board. And I know we've had our representative from our club has been approached already for this year's event. So we are also very appreciative of what, I suppose, the challenges that the K2B committee have been through over the last sort of 12, 18 months, like many organisations, with having to cancel events. So fingers crossed, we'll be there on the 18th of September when it happens, helping out, doing our marshalling duties in our normal position, which is actually very near to the finish. It's on Heartland Road. We've covered that position for many years, and Rotarians will be there in force on the day, helping from when the first finishers come through. Hopefully till until those final people, those weary people, step past us and cross over the road and go into Harcourt Park. So
almost in the dark as well.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, I know it's a little bit later on in the year this year, but hopefully, we'll be able to do our usual sort of assistance for what is a fantastic event.
Yeah, of course it is. And more power to the elbow for these Keswick to Barrow committee, one of whom is a Rotarian part of our club. And she did tell me that there are around about throughout the entire project of Keswick to Barrow and Coniston to Barrow, throughout the entire project, there are something like 450 to 500 volunteers that get involved at any given time throughout that project where, this year finishes and next year starts. So it's a whole 12 months. And she did want me to point out as well that there was £379,666 distributed to local charities and good causes in 2019. And that, you know what I mean? That is really something. And the Keswick to Barrow committee need to be applauded on that. And indeed, Rotary, as you and I know, Dave, are always heavily involved, or as involved as we can be, to try and smooth it on and encourage those who are drifting home with sore feet at 10:30 at night when everybody's wanting to get home. Okay, thanks for that, Dave. I'll be back with Dave in a short while, and we've got a little bit of music coming up to begin with, so I'm going to get back to Dave in a bit, but before that, a little bit of this. I've got Dave Coverdale with me, a Rotarian, a past president, I'm told, of the Rotary Club of Barrow. He did correct me earlier because I called him a president. He'll always be a president in my eyes. Dave, we're talking Keswick to Barrow, but that isn't the only thing that we kind of support with. I think your own club have got, you've had a golf tournament recently, haven't you? Tell us about that.
Yeah.
What happened there?
Yeah, with everything that's gone on, obviously with the pandemic and the effects of the pandemic, unfortunately, our annual charity golf competition was cancelled last year. But this year we took our lead from what was happening in golf clubs across the country. In fact, when lockdown started to ease, golf was allowed to commence again, and so competitions were being started to be organised. And I approached Barrow Golf Club, which is the venue where we normally hold our competition, and we were still on the list to be able to have our comp. So we went ahead. we weren't too sure how we would, what response we would get from both competitors and some of our regular sponsors. And we held our competition 2 weeks ago, and I have to say the weather was very kind to us as well.
It was.
We had tremendous success. We had over 130. We had 130 competitors, which, you know, for something that we weren't too sure was going to happen, was really good. We also, in terms of our sponsors, we had something like 17 or 18 sponsors on the day, who kindly offered support, as they have done in previous years. And that, along with the help from the staff and the greenkeepers up at the golf club, proved to be a successful day. We raised some money. We raised a little bit of money to go into our charity account. I haven't got a final figure at this moment in time, but I'm estimating, and it is only an estimation at the moment, that we'll have raised at least £1,500. And that's £1,500 that we'll be able to distribute to local good causes throughout the next 12 months. So, yeah, overall, a big thank you to everybody that was involved, including Rotarians from my club who got involved on the day. So a great success from our perspective.
Brilliant. I think that's a great thing, you know, 1,500 quid from one day. And a game like golf that not everybody thinks they can play. I'm sure that if you were to become part of Rotary, you could get involved in that. And it doesn't mean that you need to be very good as long as you enjoy it. So that's another thing that we can say about Rotary, is that not only are they helping other people's organised events like the Keswick to Barrow and Coniston to Barrow, you know, we actually put on events of our own. And one that we do put on, and Dave's done part of this with me last year as a virtual event, is the Tour de Furnace, the charity cycle ride. We'll come to that one of the months in the future. But I just thought I'd mention that to you, because Dave's given us great information about stuff that went on in the community up at the golf club that you may not have known about. But as he tells us, a couple of weeks ago, 1,500 quid was raised from a golf tournament that his club and his Rotarians organised. And that is what it's all about. It's serving the community and doing something good and enjoying it at the same time. I dare say there'd be a few laughs in the bar afterwards, Dave, were there?
There were, yeah. There were a few laughs in the bar. You know, I was there we did a bit of a presentation, and it was a couple of guys that I've known for a long time who came in as the winners. Which was great to see.
No favouritism there by that, was there? No.
Yeah, no. It was just a couple of guys. I mean, I've played golf with them over the years, and they came in with a good score on the day, and it was nice to be able to present them with a prize on the afternoon. So, along with the club captain. So yeah, it was great.
Absolutely great. Yeah. So it's all fun and games, literally, when you look at what Rotary's doing in the community. Let's have a bit more music now, shall we? I'll be back with you after this. Coming back to Dave Coverdale and myself, we're on the Rotary Show. This is Saturday. It's the Rotary Show. It's 106.3 FM. And if you're listening to this in Azerbaijan or somewhere else in the world, yes, it might be a different time of day, but the sun is blazing in Barrow in Furness. It's not actually. It's a bit wet and rainy. But we are here. We're doing what we can. And Dave Coverdale's been telling us about his involvement in the Keswick to Barrow. And I think he's got some stroke awareness activity coming up shortly, Dave, haven't you? What's going on there?
Yeah, again, just as we mentioned before, it's one of those events that we hold on an annual basis. And unfortunately, last year it was cancelled because of the pandemic. But we've now got a provisional date for an event that's going to be held at the Forum in Barrow. They are always happy to welcome us to the Forum to be able to offer some stroke awareness. It's something that Rotary, I think, on a national basis has been involved in, but certainly on a local basis, we've been able to offer free blood pressure testing every year for many years. And it's not us that actually does that. We facilitate it. We do a little bit of marshalling and helping people into the Forum. But on the day, we've got some NHS personnel and people from the Stroke Association who come. They run the blood pressure testing. It's a free event. People can come in, have the blood pressure tested, and then they get advice if they need it, and are pointed in the right direction if they need some advice from a health perspective. It's always a successful event. I think last time we held it, something like 110 people came through the doors in a few hours. We don't run it all day. It's usually through the morning and into the early afternoon. And it's on a Saturday. And this year we're hoping, and it's only a provisional date at the moment, it's Saturday the 21st of August at the Forum. That date will be confirmed as soon as we can, because we are still a little bit subject to some of the restrictions. So as soon as we get that as a confirmed date, we'll put that out through our social media circles. So yeah, so again, it's something that we're just trying to get back into normality and be able to run an event for people in the community.
Yeah, that's right. And I think that's what it's all about. And when you look at people who perhaps are wanting that kind of facility, if they were encouraged to, say, for example, enter the Keswick to Barrow or the Coniston to Barrow walk as a result of that, you know, to try and get fitter and healthier, it's always a good event. And, you know, without taking anything away from the golf and the stroke awareness, we started off at the top of the show with this Keswick to Barrow, Coniston to Barrow. It is a healthy event. You know, we made a joke there earlier about people strolling in or hobbling in at, you know, 9, 10 o'clock at night. But I think, you know, the vast majority of people do get a great deal of satisfaction from knowing that you've actually walked either the 40 miles Keswick to Barrow or the 21-mile Coniston to Barrow, which was introduced on a limited trial in 2010 and has proven to be very, very popular. So the Rotary people who are getting involved in that, including Dave's golf cut tournament and the stroke awareness, it's a combination of doing what you can for the community and having a bit of fun doing it as well. It's been great to talk with you today, Dave. Again, as normal, we always get good value with you, Dave. You're always a good one when you come on. I'd like to say thanks to Dave for his input today. It's been great. I'm going to be playing some more music for you before the end of the show. And if you do want to do the Keswick to Barrow or the Coniston to Barrow, it's on the 18th of September. If you put Keswick to Barrow 2021 in your browser, you'll get everything you want. And if you want to become part of Rotary, and if you want to get involved in the kind of things that we do, you can do that by ringing in to the programme on 01229 230 They'll send your details to us, or at contact@candofm.co.uk, or just put in Rotary Barrow and you'll get all the information that you need. It'll be passed on to us and we can help you to put something back into the community should you wish to do so. So, Dave, finally, thanks very much for that today. It's been a great talk with you. Any final thoughts?
Yeah, I think just to back up some of the things that you were saying there about Rotary is a great organisation. If you've got a little bit of time on your hands and you feel like you want to help your local community, there's lots and lots of ways you can do that through Rotary. And it's not a full-time thing. You can dip in, you can dip out. Obviously, people's lifestyles are very different nowadays to what they were maybe in the past. But Rotary can cater for that. We've got 3 Rotary clubs locally in Barrow that all meet at different times and give opportunities for people to get involved in what is a great organisation. So I'll just, some of the things you've already said, I'll just back up. Yeah, it's a great organisation. If you want to get involved, just get in touch with us and we'll do our best to facilitate you becoming a Rotarian.
Yeah, absolutely, Dave. Couldn't agree more. We are always looking for people. You don't have to be a particular type of person. You just need to be interested in doing something for your community. And if you live here, you might as well do that. All right, Dave, thanks very much. I'll be playing some music and you never know, I might see you again next time, Dave. Thanks very much.
Okay, thanks, Brian.
No bother. Thanks a lot. Let's listen to this, Biff. Just to let Dave disappear, we'll listen to this one.